Welcome to another episode of the Malarkey Hour. This is your host, Matt, and with me, as always, my co-host, John. How's it going, sir?
Thank you for having me. I'm okay.
It's been a week since we've done this show, like always.
Actually, it's been more than a week.
It's been 8 days. This is the longest we've haven't done the show. Feels weird.
Actually,
A whole
I think we
extra
skipped
day.
a week one time. So Matt just lied to everybody who's listening.
I didn't skip a week. You skipped a week.
I feel good.
It's like when you don't take a shower for a day and you feel really dirty.
I'm overworked and underpaid here.
Are you really overworked?
Yes.
You don't do shit, sir. I don't think you have any cause for complaint.
Well, let's get to it. What are we talking about?
Well, last time you heard us, we did our special Super Bowl edition of our podcast. You heard our predictions, and now, we don't back down from our predictions. We face the music, and we were dead wrong.
I think there was 3 of us here, and 2 of you picked Denver, and who picked Seattle? Was it me?
I think so. Let's put back the tape.
I did say 27-24,
yeah.
but I did pick the right team.
Yeah, even though you picked the right team, totally wrong on the score. Obviously, it's been a week.
Vegas would have paid me.
Obviously, it's been a week, so everybody knows the score. Seattle just kicks Denver's ass, it
was embarrassing.
It's probably the same results if me and you have been playing quarterback.
I don't think we would have scored 8.
What do you think went wrong? I don't want to get to. I want to talk a little bit about it. I know it's been a week and Super Bowl's over, but I want to extend the NFL talk a little bit. So, what do you think went wrong? Why
This is the first team that gave Manning pressure.
Yeah,
that I've seen
without blitzing.
Yeah,
I agree.
He was throwing the ball too quick. He was getting hit. They got to him. It's just like the Tom Brady Giants thing.
Yeah.
It's the first team that was able to do it.
Yeah, everything that worked for Denver during the year, being able to do those short passes and get all that, all those yards after the catch, they weren't able to get that with Seattle. Did you hear Richard Sherman was talking about after the game that they asked him why they were so effective on disrupting Peyton Manning? He's saying that they were able to read his hand signals, that they figured out his hand signals, and that if when Manning did audibles or hot routes, they knew what he was.
Yeah, I saw something about that. I don't know. Maybe they could. I mean, it's not like you're talking crap. I mean,
no, yeah.
It's not like you're saying like he's, you're not really insulting him, I guess. Well, maybe you are, but at the same time, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe pick something up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And for me, I think one of the keys that the biggest advantage Peyton Manning has is his ability to read the defense before the snap. He's able to do all those adjustments before he snaps the ball, and that's the real key to Peyton Manning's success. And I think with Seattle, if you read a lot about Seattle's defense, they don't depend on trickery before the snap. They're pretty much a set defense. They're already set before the snap's going to be. They're not trying to trick you into thinking they're going to do a different defense. They're already set, and I think that takes. Because of the way they play defense, Peyton Manning's advantage is gone.
Bigger, faster, stronger, everything. They came out there with I think they said no player had ever been in the Super Bowl on that team.
Yeah.
Or been to the Super Bowl or whatever.
Yeah.
And they just came out with a lot more energy. And they knocked that fool down a few times.
Yeah. And I don't think that makes Peyton Manning's success this year. I don't think it diminishes it, but
I think he's awful now.
But awful. I think that just shows how dominant Seattle's defense really was. And you know what? And it even shows how good the 49ers were. If that 49ers game was a lot closer than the Super Bowl was, I think it even shows how much better 49ers were this year than people gave them credit for. They were able to hang with Seattle, and then what Seattle did to Denver. I think it shows the dominance of the NFC.
Yeah, and it also changes the whole. This is a passing league. This is about offense. This is about outscoring. The Chip Kelly thing that they try to do, and the thing Denver's done all year. It kind of just showed you that defense might still be important.
Yeah, but you know what? It also shows you though that it's the top defenses really do make a difference. You got Seattle, you got 49ers, you got that Carolina defense. Those defenses really do make a difference when you're talking about this passing league. You know?
And you got to score more than 8 points to win a game.
Yeah, that helps.
Usually.
I just think that first play, it just set the tone.
I mean, it rattled them, but that wasn't. Yeah, I've heard that from people. But yeah. Nah, yes and no. I mean, it's 2 points. You gotta give up the football, but that's something I think they felt they were going to recover from, and they just never did. So,
yeah.
But whatever, it's over.
Weird Super Bowl. Even the MVP was like.
I had no idea who
their linebacker won the MVP, and it was just an odd. It was like that Buccaneers Raiders Super Bowl where.
So you think Denver threw it?
No. But like it was like a blow like that, and then the Buccaneers safety won that year too. The MVP.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That was a blowout.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we predicted a good Super Bowl, and it's pretty much over by the third quarter. So
commercials are better than the game.
Yeah, and even the commercials weren't all that great. I cannot tell you a commercial that I thought, that's gonna be memorable. We're gonna be talking about that.
I like the Scientology commercial. That was my favorite.
That was your favorite?
Mm-hmm. Big fan.
I think about the only thing you could take away from this Super Bowl is it was the highest rated Super Bowl in history, and that halftime show was the most watched television moment in history.
I think I like the halftime show.
Yeah,
I think it was a lot better than the game.
The halftime show got higher ratings than the overall the game overall in general, and it beat MASH's record. I think MASH had the final episode of MASH was 108 million. I don't have the numbers in front of me, and I think that halftime show drew more. More people.
I'll never forget watching the final episode of MASH. I was glued to the TV.
More people watched Bruno Mars perform than any other television moment in history. That's crazy.
Who was it? Bruno Mars with who?
And Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They were just kind of there.
Yeah.
They didn't really do much.
They weren't even playing their own instrument. That was a big controversy that they had a pre-recorded instrument.
I was saying this before. Doesn't it kind of remind you of Michael Jackson?
Yeah, he has that vibe. Bruno Mars, yeah.
Yeah, good Michael Jackson, less creepy.
Yeah, a little bit less creepy.
Tiny
bit.
I think it's a substantial number. I don't have a creepy scale, but I think it would lean towards
creepy scales from 0 to Michael Jackson.
I think they're on. Yeah, they're pretty far apart.
He's a little bit less. You got Michael Jackson, you got Gary Busey up there.
Right.
Just creepiness.
Christopher Walken. John Travolta.
Who would be on the other side at closer to 0? Who's the least creepy person you think of celebrity? It's just totally random, but
I never really thought about that.
Who's the least creepy celebrity? That'd be somebody really bland, like Bob Costas.
I don't know. Let's think about it for a little while. And we'll come back.
That's to be somebody really bland.
I don't know. Bob Costas is kind of creepy.
He never ages.
Yeah, he looks like he's a college student.
He's the RA.
And he was in the first, I think he covered the first World Series.
Yeah, he's like that RA.
All right.
Darn. Well, let's before we move away from sort of NFL news. This is just in. We just saw it right now on ESPN. A NFL prospect just came out of the closet, just 20 minutes ago.
He was stuck in there?
He was stuck in there. He nobody would open the door.
Apparently he was stuck in there for 9 days, no food, no water, and they got him out.
No, of course. I mean, we have NFL prospect. He's a Missouri defensive end. Michael Sam announced that he was gay about 30 minutes ago. They broke the news. If he gets drafted, he's predicted to be a mid round.
What they have him at?
Mid round, about the mid round pick.
How many rounds are there? I don't even remember.
I forget. 13.
13 rounds?
Yeah, I think so. Remember, this is the NFL.
Oh, NBA has 3, right?
Yeah, NBA has 3. Yeah. Yeah, if he gets drafted, he'll be the first openly gay NFL player in history. Michael Sam, he is out of Missouri. He's a defensive end. Like I said, it just hit, and like 30 minutes before we started this podcast, they were announcing on ESPN, and if you go online right now, it's all over online. Apparently, he came out to his Missouri teammates before last season, but he just didn't. Just
one of them talked.
No,
he came at himself.
And apparently, everybody was supportive. Everybody was
just
behind
for
him.
our fact checks. There's 7 rounds.
7 rounds, okay.
262 players is the most. I'm just googling this. I didn't know this. 2003 NFL draft was actually most since 1994. So there's not a lot of people. I mean, 262 is not that's not that many.
No. The NFL released a statement. They said, "We admire Michael Sam's honesty and courage. Michael is a football player. Any player with ability and determination can succeed in the NFL. We look forward to welcoming and supporting Michael Sam in 2014." Sam led the Southeastern Conference last season with 10.5 sacks and 18 tackles for loss. He was named the Associated Press SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, so I mean, this is pretty big. I mean,
cool.
I guess that's cool.
Cool.
Breaking news.
Would you think it's good for his draft stock?
Or
you think he should have waited?
I don't think we will ever really know, because nobody's ever gonna be like, oh, we're not taking him because he's gay. But
Well, yeah, but what do you think?
I think there's certain people out there in the front office that they won't take him. Some just from the fact that they're afraid what's it gonna do to the chemistry in the locker room. Yeah, that macho. I mean, we're just a few months removed from the whole whole Miami.
What position?
Defensive end. I mean, we're just a few months removed from the whole incognito scandal. So I mean, it's a macho sort of environment in NFL locker room, and to have a openly gay player, I'm sure a lot of GMs are going to be hesitant to add him to their locker room, just because they're afraid.
The craziest part to me is that he's a defensive end, and he's just insisting on playing center. And I don't know, that part kind of threw me off.
Jonathan attempted a joke there. That went nowhere.
Somebody's laughing.
I guess.
It's just me.
So yeah, I mean,
it's fine. It's whatever. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, no, I mean neither.
I think maybe just from like a money point of view, if I was the guy's agent, I'd be like, let's sign the contract first, and then you can come out and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, just from maybe a smart financial point of view, it doesn't bother me, but yeah, I think I would have waited until after the
draft.
Draft.
The draft's gonna be on May 8th. So yeah, we'll see what happens between now and May. How it affects his draft status, and just like I said, it just came out, so we don't know too much.
Johnny Manziel is projected to go 5th to who? I don't know. I saw it on TV on that mock draft thing. I heard Houston for a while, but I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, 'cause they have the number 1 pick. There's been some people saying maybe they should pick him up, and I don't know.
I don't care.
It's still too early for NFL draft. So, but that's our sports news for the week.
NFL is over.
NFL's over. This is the saddest part of the year for me. First Sunday
I cried
in a while. We have no football.
I cried.
It's odd. I don't know what to do with myself. Like, you wake up and there's no football.
Right. Cartoons. Lots of cartoons.
Yeah. Like, what do people do on Sundays? Like,
well, some of them go to church, but whatever. I think I was watching that one more NFL thing. I was watching this thing on Lombardi, and they were talking about how in Green Bay that they would actually move church hours so that everyone could get out early and make sure they didn't miss the Packers games.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
Yeah. Well, that community is, that team is ingrained in that community. It's
A population of like 1,000 people.
And somehow, like 50,000 show up to the stadium.
Somehow everyone travels and shows up at what's the field?
Lambeau Field.
Lambeau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, football season's over. Let's talk about the other big story that happened on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm sure everybody's heard by now. It's been a week, but the actor Philip Seymour Hoffman died on Super Bowl Sunday. He was found dead in his apartment of apparent drug overdose. He was 46 years old. Shocking news. Obviously he was still a young man, and you don't expect for him to die. There have been last year. There's been stories about he had sort of relapse. Apparently, he had gone into rehab in his early 20s and had been clean for all these years. He had a relapse, I think, last year, or like early last year, and he checked himself into rehab again. And apparently, it didn't. He was still going through whatever he was going through, and he was found in his apartment with I think they said a needle in his arm. It's still in his arm.
Yeah,
from a heroin overdose. We lost a great actor. I think you would agree with me. Probably one of the best actors of his generation.
Yeah, real good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I liked a lot of stuff he did.
He came out in Boogie Nights. He was came out in a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson, like Boogie Nights, Magnolia. He was in it was 2012's The Master. Great performance.
Mission Impossible 2.
3. No, 4.
Oh, 3 or 4.
4.
Actually,
or is it 3? No, it's 3. It was 3.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just remember he was the best part of the movie.
Yeah. And that's the thing that was been coming out. He's one of those actors who doesn't matter what movie he was in.
I don't think he tried to kill himself, though. Do you?
No, I don't think he tried to kill himself. I mean, I don't know. Like I said,
but I mean, he had 70 bags of heroin. Like, if you're gonna kill yourself, why are you gonna buy 70 bags?
Yeah,
you don't.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, they found 70 bags of unused heroin. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think he was trying to kill himself.
He's just.
It's crazy.
Well, there were stories going around how in the New York area they were finding all these a lot of tainted heroin supplies. They would, I forgot what they would put in there to make, I guess, give it a bigger hype. But it was a lot of people were getting an overdose, from it.
What was he taking, like fentanyl? Or what was it?
He had all these other crazy drugs in his system. Apparently, some anti-anxiety. I don't know, it was more than just heroin, I guess. Went through a lot of stuff, I guess.
I think he was mixing fentanyl with heroin. And
yeah.
Apparently, it's bad.
Yeah, bad combination.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm just laughing, but I'm not laughing at the thing. I'm just, apparently, it's don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, but like, let's go back to his acting. Like, yeah, that was the thing that was interesting about him. He could be in a really bad movie, and he elevated that movie. He was one of the best things. And remember him in Along Came Polly?
The guy that sharded.
Yeah, I mean, the only good part about that movie was horrible, but the only good part about it was him. Like, so you remember that basketball scene that they played?
Oh, where you can't shoot.
Yeah, he was like white chocolate.
Yeah, he was like hitting.
Yeah, he was the worst pickup player ever in the history of pickup basketball.
Yeah.
But I mean, even in a role like that people would excuse him for not really putting any effort into it, and even in a role like that, he still came and gave it his all, and was professional about it, I mean, I think he was one of the, if not the best actor of his generation. If you think about who actors acting right now, I mean, he's probably near the top of the list, and underappreciated. One of those guys who could just disappear in a role and was one of those rare character actors that could lead a movie.
Nah, he was good. He was good.
Yeah.
Really good at pretty much everything.
Yeah.
It's sad. It sucks. But, yeah. It happens.
It happens. And
in Hollywood,
we lost another one. So it's gonna be a crazy. How during the Oscars they do the sort of the remembrance. So this year, who we lost? We lost Philip Seymour Hoffman, James Gandolfini,
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker.
They honor bad actors too, right? Like Paul Walker.
Yeah, they honor everybody. Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. No disrespect to just being honest.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, sad news. Let's go on to I guess a little bit not as sad news. This week we had Bill Nye. Did you see the Bill Nye science debate, John?
I saw clips of it.
For people who don't know what I'm talking about, Bill Nye, the science guy, for
Bill Nye.
him
Now
and
we gotta pay like royalty.
Bill Nye, he had a science debate with Ken Ham, who is known as the Genesis guy. I
don't know who Ken Ham
he
is.
apparently he built this. For anybody, I think it's the same guy. For anybody who saw Bill Maher's Religulous, that documentary he did a couple years ago.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Remember that park that he went to that
Oh,
showed
the one in Florida?
Yeah, I think it's the same guy who did that park.
It's like Disneyland with Jesus.
Essentially, with him, what he's doing is he's trying to claim that he mixes science with religion. He's trying to say like, oh, man lived next to with dinosaurs, and he's part of that whole creation.
A man that's seen a lot of Flintstone episodes.
Creationism movement. There's this movement where we're trying to combine science with religion, and these are the same people who claim the Earth's only 6,000 years old, and
but nearly 13 billion years ago, it all started with the Big Bang.
So Bill Nye had this science debate with Ken Ham. I'm not gonna go too much into it. If you want to watch it, it's online. But what I do want to talk about is just the whole concept of like having debate on like sort of like like the beginning of things. Everybody.
Do you remember? I think we're talking about this, but do you remember doing the evolution thing in science class?
Yeah.
Having to learn about it.
Yeah.
There was no. You don't remember any sort of, hey, we're going to talk about this kind of controversy or nothing?
No.
I think, I told you that I think that we had, like, slips, and if you wanted to, like, opt out of it, you could opt out of it by getting your parents' permission. And then you wouldn't have to sit through it. You could, like, I don't know, clean the restroom or something.
But no, for me, what do you think? Do you think it's a debate that's gonna help us in any way? I know we talked about it a little bit before, and
No.
That's the reason I wanted to because you say you don't agree. You don't think it's gonna do any constructive.
I think it was a waste of time, but
because
a lot of things are.
Because you think people are just set in their ways.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna. I mean, after you're a teenager, you pretty much made up your mind about how the world works.
Mm-hmm. So do you think it's a good idea?
All those guys, I'm saying unless all those guys that come and they go to prison and they come out and they're like, it's weird, they come out and they have this like crazy religious,
perversion,
and I mean, I guess it's a bad word, but it's like I call it a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not a bad word, but it's a bad way of putting it. But yeah, they come out and they're like born again, and I don't know. I don't know what goes on. I've never been to prison, and I don't intend to go.
For me, I think why that happens is you get people at their lowest lows. They're in prison, and
you need something to hold on to.
Yeah, and I think religion offers that. It does offer people hope, and that they can change their lives, and their lives can be better. And I think that's the reason you see that a lot. When you're talking about science, and it's sort of a scary sort of concept. The fact that
I'll tell you what,
this is all there is. There's nothing after.
I'll tell you what's scary. I forgot what I saw it on. I don't know if we've talked about it, but there was when all these global warming people that think it's a hoax or think it's not real, after the Al Gore, stuff, and then you've had multiple. This is like more than one. These are like senators, like state senators. I mean, we only got 2 per state, right? That are actually saying global warming's not real because Noah, after the 40 days and 40 nights, God said he would never do it again.
Yeah.
So, no, there can't be anything bad happen because God said no.
Yeah.
So now they're against global warming on that principle, and these people are in
law.
Congress.
Yeah, and they affect our laws. And that's the reason, like, I want to get into, because I do think the debates are necessary, and not just to change people's minds. What's scary is, like, you'll have people in power who don't believe in some of these sciences, and I think it's dangerous if our laws are geared towards religion. And just global warming is one example.
Yeah.
Global warming isn't a myth.
No, I think it's real. I don't think it's as urgent or as important as people.
It can be, though.
Well, it depends how. I don't think it's going to affect anybody in the next 1 to 2 generations.
Yeah, but doesn't mean that we shouldn't be worried about it.
Yeah, it'll be dead.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
I don't think it's on the top of the list, and
the changes that we need to start making so that it doesn't happen have to happen now. And I think that's the reason it is important. I do think these debates are important because I think it like you said, so some people, like, they're already, after, you said, after, they're teenagers, they're not going to change their mind. That's the reason I think it's important to teach kids in school, like, what's facts, like, the real fact, like, look, I don't want to get into, like, who's right and wrong, and I think that's sometimes with these debates, that's what it sort of comes into, and people get defensive. Like, people want to be like, "Oh, I'm right." Who do you say? Who are you to say that I'm not right? And I don't think that's the right angle to sort of look at it from. I think the right angle is, let's try to find out, the truth. This is what we're trying to do, and for me, science is never about I'm right. It's about what can we find out, and in science they're more than open to say that they're wrong about something. If they find out something, something that they held to be true is wrong, they're more than happy to say, okay, we're wrong. This is what we found out. This is the reason why we think we're wrong. Okay, this is the new sort of truth that we think it's out there now, and we're willing to keep looking. There's no closed-mindedness in science, and that's the reason I'm for me, I think that's important.
Yeah,
because we're finding new things every day through science that we held to be true that isn't true. And it's
right.
I don't know.
No, science is important. I mean, it's like technology.
Yeah, and what I'm afraid of is creationism invading into the schools and sort of for kids to think this is this is real science, and it isn't. It's based off a book that was written many years ago by people who didn't we've advanced a lot since the Bible was written. So
a little bit.
I would think. So I mean,
yeah,
it's like, I don't know. Like, it's not like we're still using, like, abacuses, like, it's...
I do.
Like, we advance, like, and I think we need to look at that. We can't be using, old documents as truths anymore. We've learned a lot of new things, and...
No, but it's... The debate itself, I think it was a waste of time, but...
See, I don't think it was.
Well, I think it's the same thing. It's going to come down to the lower levels of education, all that crap.
Yeah, I think that's what's important.
Yeah, I think people decide at a very young age. I know people that were like literally in church every Sunday since as far as they could remember until they were well into their teens, and a lot of those people aren't even religious at all.
Yeah.
And then I know people that the same situation and they are very religious.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. First Amendment, believe whatever you want.
And that's the beauty of it. Like yeah, it's not like I said. With debates, it's not about trying to change people's beliefs. It's about, okay, this is what I believe, and for me, this is why I came to my conclusion of what I believe, and I think that's what's the most important, And with these debates, it's just each side putting out, okay, this is how I came to my conclusion. I think that's the part that's important, and and it's up to people to decide what side they feel they're on.
Well, right now there are 4 states that are advocating laws to stop the teaching of evolution. And those states are Colorado, Missouri, Montana, and Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the most boring states in the country.
Again, that's opinion of John. That does not reflect the opinion of this podcast. I happen to love the state of Oklahoma.
Well, I don't know. I heard Colorado got more fun, but that's just what I heard.
Yeah.
Well, except for during the Super Bowl, that was a downer.
Yeah, I'm sure there weren't a lot of happy people in Colorado during the Super Bowl.
Lighting up for that parade. But that is funny. We already talked about that.
What?
I think the 2 states in the Super Bowl were the 2
yeah.
states
That was
legalized
covered
marijuana.
leading up to it.
So, one hell of a parade in Seattle.
So that happened there this week. If you want to, it's online. If you want to, hear the whole debate, it's interesting. There's some interesting points in it. I don't want to go over it because it's out there and you could listen to yourself for yourself. Like I said, it's up to you as an individual to decide what side
Bill
you're on.
Nye still making any money?
Yeah. I don't know what he does.
I saw him on an episode of The Big Bang Theory. And then that science debate, so he's gotten a couple jobs.
I guess he's still getting that residuals for the show, yeah.
Is it on any station?
I don't know.
Ever, anywhere?
I'm sure it is. I don't know.
Is Netflix even wide?
I like Bill Nye.
Oh, I used to watch it too.
He's a nice
I think I've seen all of them. But I don't see it on anymore. Remember Beekman? Beekman's role? Dude,
yeah.
Am I the only one that was creeped out by that show?
Nah, he was pretty creepy.
He was a creepy guy.
Yeah.
He made some money because remember they used to have his own toys and products and stuff.
Yeah, like science kits and stuff.
That was a long time. Is Beekman dead? Because I had a couple of things. You know what creeped me out? I bought one of his. I didn't buy it. It was a Christmas gift or something. And he sold a little microscope thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cheap plastic thing, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah.
And I got so freaked out because I take it and I put it on my carpet, in the living room of my house, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and I swear I see every little crawly thing in the carpet, and it was the creepiest thing ever to me because I'm a little kid.
Yeah.
And I see little crawly things in the carpet that you can't see with the human eye, and I was like, what the hell? And I was always the kind of guy that would lay down and watch TV on the carpet.
That ruined that.
I was like, fuck that. Once you look through my little Beekman microscope, you won't want to lay down there either. So he officially ruined carpet floor for me.
Beekman was played by actor and puppeteer Paul Finley Zaloom. He is 62 years old and living in New York. He's openly gay and has a daughter.
Really?
Amanda Israel Finley with his former wife Jane Israel. So,
Well, I learned that Beekman was gay.
There you go.
I did not know that.
So if you're interested in the whole science debate stuff and all that, go look for it. It's online. You could watch the whole debates and decide for yourself.
Yeah.
And you go buy yourself a Beekman microscope.
No, stay away from the microscope.
Creep yourself out.
It'll if you have carpet, you'll be ruined.
It'll ruin your whole house for you.
You'll rip your carpet out as soon as you see it.
Let's change gears for this last segment. Let's talk about movies.
I've never seen one.
You never seen a movie?
Mm-mm.
I'll describe it for you.
What's a movie?
It's moving images with sound and music and actors like George Clooney and
Who's
John
that?
Goodman and Bill Murray, who star in the new movie that came out this weekend, Monuments Men.
I actually happened to catch that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think you watched it with me.
Yeah, I think it was about 3 hours ago.
I went to go. We just came back from seeing it, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit since it just opened this weekend. It was supposed to open last year during award season, but it delayed it because apparently Clooney wanted to. They were still like working on some of the effects, and he wanted to get it right, and he didn't want to rush it, so they delayed it until February. So it didn't get to open during award season, and
It's about a bunch of guys stealing art.
stealing art back.
No, just kidding.
For people who haven't seen the trailers and don't know about it, it's based on a true story. Apparently, during World War II, Hitler was stealing all this art from Europe. He was, every country that he invaded, he would go and steal their arts. And apparently, he wanted to create this super big museum, named after him. Then he was going to display, all this great art in it. And it's the story of the guys who made it their mission to, during World War II to go and, take back the art that Hitler stole. Written and directed by Mr. George Clooney, starring Mr. George Clooney, Matt Damon, John Goodman, Bill Murray, Kate Blanchett, the French guy who won the Best Actor Oscar for The Artist a few years back,
Okay.
John, I forget his name. He was in The Wolf of Wall Street, actually, too.
Jonah Hill?
No.
You said Joan.
That French guy. Remember him from Wolf of Wall Street? He was the Swiss banker.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I see it now, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think, John? What do you think of the movie?
I give it 1.5 jalapenos.
Penos.
Yeah.
Out of 2?
Yeah, actually, I grade on a system of 1 to 2 jalapenos. And I'm going to give it 1.5.
Did you like it? Did you like the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was alright. It was decent. It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not anything to rave about, but
I agree too. Like,
I don't think I'll go see it again.
yeah. No, I agree too. Like I said, it was supposed to open during award season and it got pushed back, and now I can see why. Like I know that they pushed it back because they said they needed more work on it, but I think it was a good idea. I don't think it would have gotten any awards. For me, George Clooney's movies, the ones he's written and directed, I don't know if it's just me, but haven't they seemed like they've gone down in quality?
Name me some.
I think his first movie was that Confessions of a Dangerous Mind with Sam Rockwell
Yeah.
and then he made Good Night and Good Luck, which I still think is his best movie.
I never got through the movie.
And then he made
Actually, I think I rented it or Redboxed it or something. I don't know what year that
Good Night
was.
and Good Luck.
Yeah, I never got through
2005.
it.
Yeah.
I never got through it.
And then he made Leatherheads, and then he made what was it, that Ides of March
Ides of March
with Ryan Gosling,
Yeah.
and then this one. And I don't know, for me, it seems like he's getting progressively worse as a no, like I mean not worse, and like, it seems like his movies are just getting more and more flat. Like Confessions of a Dangerous Mind was actually pretty good. I really did like Good Night and Good Luck. I think that's his best movie. And then it just after that it's sort of been downhill. Like I don't think he's a great writer. He's a good enough director. For me, he reminds me of Clint Eastwood as a director.
Except the angry old white man.
Oh, he's gonna become that. He's getting older.
Clint Eastwood plays himself in every movie he makes.
And his last movie, I think that what hurt the Ides of March. I think it thought it was a smarter movie than it really was. Like, what was the big thing that it's trying to say? Oh, that politicians are bad.
Yeah, politics is dirty.
Dirty. Like, okay, and like it's nothing. Like, what else? Like, what else you have to say? Like, it just there wasn't anything there. And it thought, like I said, it thought it was smarter than it really was, and it wasn't. It just there's nothing interesting or different for them to say about politics.
Right.
And it's everything that we already know. And
Politicians are dirty.
yeah, it's like Nazis. They were bad men.
Well, I told you what I learned from this movie, and it completely just changed my mind about Hitler. Is like, man, if you watch this movie, the Monuments Man, he was a jerk. I mean, like I didn't really know he was that big of a jerk. He was a jerk.
I know you're joking, but yeah, essentially, yeah. Well, I mean, he had nothing new to say to it. Like, okay, we get it. The Nazis were bad people. They did a lot worse things than steal art, but yeah, I mean, it's nothing new. And you know what? Also, this movie would have been great if it was made in 1954. Like like I'm serious. Like this is sort of a throwback movie. It belongs in that era of, during the mid 50s through like the 60s. They were making those World War II adventure films, and people wanted that. They wanted these something to cheer for. We had just come off this just like horrible war, and we took down this like evil man, and all we want. What we wanted for our World War II films was like action and adventure, and this movie would have fit perfectly in that era. But unfortunately, we don't live in 1954 anymore.
Yeah,
and it seems it's just derivative of that.
What cracks me up is I don't know who watches that TED TV, but one of them cracked me up because it was kind of about the same thing we just saw today.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget the guy's name that was talking about he was talking about, how, the Nazis were stealing art.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess this was, what's his name? History book. I don't know that I haven't picked up in a long time. But Hermann Goring, like his number 2, Hitler's,
mm-hmm.
number 1, number 2 dude, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That on the TED TV, there was a Dutch artist. His name was Vermeer.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't on here. I'm trying to remember. But he was actually charged with treason for selling the painting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to the guy after the war, right?
Uh-huh.
And they were just gonna execute him.
Yeah.
But they actually gave him a chance to prove his innocence. And from what I remember, you can check it out on TED TV. I can't remember the whole thing, but I know he defended himself by saying, "No, I ripped him off. Like I didn't sell him. I'm a forger." And he had actually forged the painting, and it became the guy's favorite painting. Like the guy was an art freak.
Uh-huh.
He loved this painting, and he paid. I don't know, millions for it. It would have been $10 million today.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, if I remember right, I could be wrong, but look it up on TED TV. He needed a canvas, obviously.
Yeah.
He needed a bunch of opium and needed a bunch of alcohol.
Uh-huh.
And he said, "I can do it again." And they said, "If you can do it again,
you'll
prove your innocence."
Yeah.
Because you can't be selling art to the Nazis,
Yeah.
No, I ripped him off. I forged him.
Yeah.
Like, that's his defense.
Yeah.
So they gave him his opium. They gave him his alcohol. They gave him, I don't know how long it took him. He was able to do it perfectly.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny because when what's his name, Goring, the Hitler's number 1 guy or whatever.
Yeah.
When he found out about it, this is a quote from out of whoever wrote about it. They said he looked as if for the first time he had discovered there was evil in the world.
Wow.
He felt so betrayed.
He's like, how could he do this to me?
That he had been sold
Such a mean man.
I just love that.
He made the Nazi cry. How could
you be so mean?
Right? Says the man who killed 6 million Jews. Like really?
I just love that quote. He looked as if the first time he had discovered there was evil in the world. That makes me laugh. Oh my!
But yeah, like just to get back to that was pretty funny. Just to get back to the movie though, yeah, I mean it's fine movie. It's well made movie. People enjoy it, but it's just there's nothing new to it.
Give that matinee prize if you can.
Yeah. And what was up with Matt Damon's character? He didn't do jack shit to the whole movie.
Matt Damon does absolutely nothing in this movie.
This movie,
like he's on vacation.
His character doesn't do anything constructive until towards the end, where he brings his book.
He charms his way into getting a book.
We don't want to ruin it too much.
Yeah, it doesn't really ruin shit. It's an important book, but whatever. Everybody else is getting shot at. Matt Damon's just
having the time of his life in Paris.
Yeah, he's chilling in Paris. And
like, okay, now I must go east and help my fellow men.
Right. I'm so hammered right now. I don't know.
But I mean, like I said, well-made movie. It has a good cast.
John Goodman does his thing.
Bill Murray does his thing.
Yeah,
George Clooney.
Everybody just does their thing. It's all right.
George Clooney.
I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it's good. It's okay.
Yeah, but
it's worth watching one time.
Yeah,
it is interesting that it is. I don't know how much of it's factual, but I'm sure they made up some stuff for fun, but that it is based on a true story.
Yeah,
it really, it actually kind of makes you think like, huh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the history behind it is important.
I don't know how much art was recovered. They say it at the end of the movie, but I don't. But yeah, stuff that's in museums today, and
it's important. Like I do think that's one of the messages that they come through the movie, and I do think it. Without it, like if you destroy somebody's like what they left behind, you destroy their culture.
Document.
Yeah, it's like they never existed if you destroy all that.
It's like if they burned our Constitution, or I'm going too far with that, but it's something that
like once we're gone, once we're gone and they destroy everything that we created, like it's like we were never here, and I think that's the reason it was important for them to recover that and not see it in the hands of the Nazis or for them to destroy it. So, I mean, it's an interesting part. It is a part of history that a lot of people don't know about, and I didn't know about until I heard about this movie. And if anything that good comes out of it is that we'll learn a little bit more. But the movie itself wasn't. It could have been made better, but I don't know. It's
but I think they tried to make it as exciting as they could without making too much stuff up.
Yeah, and I also think Clooney doesn't have the ability to take a subject matter that maybe it's a little not bland, but like maybe isn't cinematic and make it cinematic. He's not as that great of a director, so he can't do it. Like, he took on politics in the last movie, and politics is hard to make cinematic. You got to be really good, and I just don't think Clooney is that great of a director. I mean, he's a competent director. He knows what he's doing. But like I said, I compare him to Eastwood. I think he's like Clint Eastwood as a director. Okay, capable, but it's not gonna bring much to the table. It's not gonna be innovative. It's not gonna like I've never seen that before. It's not really gonna have his own style. I can't really tell you. That's signature Clooney right there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's Clooney right there. Yeah, it's like he doesn't have that. Yeah.
He should just stick to acting.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great actor. He's a great movie star. He's a great celebrity. I've said it. He's the best at being a celebrity
right.
of anybody out there. Like, he knows but as a director, it's just his movies are just flat. They're not dynamic at all. And I mean, I don't know. This movie sort of proves it, but. I don't know. It just seems like It just seems like every movie he makes, he keeps a step backwards.
All right. He's
like
not even on set half the time.
No. If anything, I would recommend people go out and Redbox Good Night and Good Luck.
And the Olympics have started, and I don't know who's been watching it. Literally, who's been watching it?
Well, Bob Costas got sick. Did you hear about that? He woke up with his left eye all shut, and he got this infection, and that was the biggest news of the weekend of the Olympics.
Bob Costas has pink eye?
Has pink eye, yeah. Makes you wonder what he's been doing over there in Sochi. Right. To get pink eye. I don't know if it's pink eye. I
don't know.
It just said his left eye was like swollen shut, and he was going to take a few days off, and apparently the water's really dirty over there in Russia, and people having horrible.
Is it worse than Mexico's?
I don't know. They say it's pretty bad. I don't know. You've heard the stories. I don't know. People. I'm sure people out there read the stories online. But yeah, the Olympics are coming. It just started. I haven't watched any Olympics. I'm not a big Olympics person. Like,
you're not a big Olympics competitor.
I rather like watch like competitive eating over the Olympics.
I don't know why all these countries hate America.
No, like I mean,
we're all starving, but they're competitively eating.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna.
We don't have water. Come over to our newest water park. It's like,
I just find it interesting. Like people, like during the Olympics come on and people start watching sports they would never watch any other time. Like who the hell watches skiing any other time except during the Olympics?
Right.
Who watches? What's that one that they sweep the ice? What's that one? Curling.
Curling.
Who the hell watches curling other than during the Olympics? It's like,
Yeah, I don't know.
it makes you wonder, like, if people are just like act like they're excited just because it feels like they're supposed to be excited. I'm not gonna lie, I have no interest.
Right.
Carlos, I don't know. I don't think it's un-American to not like the Olympics.
Yeah. Is it on right now?
It probably is. I don't know.
Who's got it? NBC, right?
Yeah, it's NBC because Bob Costas. Yeah, it's NBC.
Okay.
Doesn't NBC always have it? Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Jay Leno went off the air.
Oh yeah, that was
Finally.
You want to talk about that?
Not really.
No, that way went on a happy note. Jay Leno had his.
That's the happy note. Jay Leno's off the air. I think I just did it.
Jay Leno had his last show after 22 years of hosting the Tonight Show. He
She's gonna take it back.
went off the air on Thursday. He had Billy Crystal, who was his first ever Tonight Show guest. He came on. He did his usual Billy Crystal musical number. Numerous celebrities did video. They did videos for him and saying goodbye, to Jay Leno. And Jimmy Fallon's gonna take over after the Olympics is done in late February.
He's all right. He's all right. What do you think?
Even David Letterman.
You think you got the right? You think they got the right guy, or
Who knows?
But I mean, they're always gonna give it to the guy that has the show after, right? Like almost like most of the time.
No, because Jay Leno didn't have a show when he took over the Tonight Show.
Okay, but I'm saying these days it seems that way.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, they did it with Conan, and then
The Tonight Show, it's not like, I don't know. I guess when Jay Leno took over for Johnny Carson, it was still the Tonight Show.
What do you think? What do you think's gonna happen when Letterman leaves?
I don't know.
I don't think Craig Ferguson's gonna get the job.
Well, it's not like David Letterman's show is an institution, though. So it's just a time slot.
It's pretty highly rated,
But I mean, it's just a time slot. I don't think it's like the Tonight Show.
right? But
You know?
I don't think Craig Ferguson will get it.
No, who knows? I don't think David Letterman is gonna retire anytime soon.
Me neither.
Mm-mm.
But
And you know what? I don't think Jay Leno didn't want to retire.
no, they
His show is still the number one show, and you know what? The same thing happened to people forget. Same thing happened to Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson's when he left, it was still number one, and there was a lot of indication that Johnny Carson didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of disappeared after that, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he go
Yeah.
into like isolation?
Yeah, he never
Never
he
came out in public.
he came out one more time a little bit after he came out during Letterman's show, and then that's it. You never saw him again. He kept his promise. He said he was never gonna.
Yeah, I know they were showing some stuff on TV about Johnny Carson not too long ago. It was like he was getting his death threats, and he was in like mixed in with the mob.
Well,
I don't know.
I saw this documentary where apparently he hit on a mobster's girlfriend. Because Johnny, I mean, it's not a big secret. He was he liked to drink.
Right.
He liked his alcohol beverages, and apparently he was at this bar and he was drunk and he hit on this hot woman, and apparently she was some mobster's girlfriend, and he didn't take it too well. But luckily he was friends with Frank Sinatra and some other people, and they're like, oh, this guy's cool. Don't kill him.
Yeah, I heard they were really gonna try to kill him and all kinds of things.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just crazy, but Jay Leno, after 22 years, no longer the host of the Tonight Show. Sad to see him go.
Get ready for some Jimmy Fallon. Should be the intro to the show.
Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for some Jimmy Fallon.
He's like, I should get another announcer that doesn't say it just that way.
Right?
No matter who he gets, it's just natural. It's like, you're ready for another.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for some Jimmy Fallon.
All right. You got anything? You know, let's end on a true happy note, since I guess. We were talking about this earlier. I told you about it, and I sort of want to get it. This 3D pen that
Right.
That remember I was telling you the other night.
I'd say,
I was reading about it. I'd heard about it before because they had this Kickstarter campaign back when they were developing it, and they got more than enough money for it. And I forgotten about it. I read about it about a year ago when they were developing it, and I forgot about it. And then I started reading about it like last week, and you could pre-order it. It's supposed to come out in February, later on this month. This 3D.
it's not out?
It's still not. You could pre-order it, but it's still not out. It's a 3D pen.
I mean, I saw videos like a year ago. I thought it was out.
No. It was still in the. They were still working on it. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, it's literally a 3D pen. What it does is it shoots out like plastic, so it heats down plastic, and you could literally it's what it is. It's a 3D pen. You could draw up into the air, and you can make whatever you draw. It comes and it dries really quickly.
It's hard to describe. YouTube it.
Yeah, 3D
but it
pen.
is cool.
Yeah, and it's you could create little 3D plastic models with it, and
it just like releases like some gooey stuff that dries
plastic.
up.
Yeah,
and
it's plastic.
I guess it dries in some kind of hard plastic, but yeah, you can just like you could draw like a 3D cube and just like hand somebody a little 3D cube you drew.
Yeah.
Instead of on
What
paper.
were you saying would be cool for celebrities?
I was saying if I was a celebrity, like I would use a 3D pen and I would just sign my name and then just hand him a piece of plastic with my name. I mean, it's cool. I think I'd rather have that than the autograph.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cool little thing. It's only $99. The plastic cartridges.
Cheap pen. It's like a Bic.
Yeah. The little cartridges you use.
Lose it the first day. I lose pens so much. Just lose it in like the first day. I'd be so pissed.
It's $99. The cartridges itself, I think I looked them up. I think it's like $6, and you get like this it's a good amount of like little whatever the plastic inserts that you use for it.
The goo
part. It's pretty cheap too. So I mean, it's a cool little tool. I mean, you could just have fun with it, or you could use it, to fix minor things. I don't know.
Or
you could be creative.
If you want to be the biggest a-hole in the world, just draw on your friend's face when they're asleep with it.
The new drunk, yeah.
And just watch them try to get it off.
Well, it comes off easily.
Does it?
Yeah, when it dries.
Oh, it just peels off?
Yeah, it just peels off.
I just want to see them there trying to scrub it all off. Just peeling their skin off. Demented, right?
No, I've seen that videos, like, you could draw it on paper, and then it peels off, like, really easy. Because it dries up. It's just plastic, so.
Draw a 3D mustache on somebody.
So that's pretty cool. I don't know. I thought it'd be, if you haven't heard about it.
It's hard to describe. YouTube it.
Yeah, YouTube it. It's. I forget what the company's name is, but if you YouTube 3D pen, the company's website is the first thing that pops up on Google.
I thought they were out. I thought they've been out.
No. It's supposed to be out later on this month. You can pre-order right now. I'm getting one. I don't know. I think it'll be cool.
I'll let you get one first.
Try it out.
Yeah, I'll play with it for a while. If I want one, I'll get one.
I like that you're in the assumption I'll let you play with my pen.
Well, I'm going to play with your pen.
I don't know. I just thought it was cool. I thought it would be a nice way to end this week's podcast. So go out and get a 3D pen. I have I have nothing invested in this company, so don't think that I'm
yeah.
trying to plug something.
One more sports headline.
I just think it's a cool thing.
And then
one more?
Yeah. Apparently the Baltimore Ravens are predicted to be the worst team in the NFL.
They are
next year.
the worst team?
And they're thinking that they're so bad that they may not even play at all.
Oh, wow.
So
one of our friends is going to be really disappointed.
We may be down to 31 teams.
Oh, wow.
They're thinking about forfeiting this season because that's how bad they're going to be. But anyway, 3D pens are cool, and I guess we're about done.
Yeah, that was very important to put in right here at the end of the podcast. But go get your 3D pens. Wait for the future, people. It is the future. So, I guess that's it.
Even Stephen Hawking says.
And with that, we end our podcast. Everybody have a good week. Bye.